Hello fashion lovers, welcome to today's episode. We are going to continue with body measurement. This is how we are going to take the body measurements. When we take the body measurement, we will just abbreviate it. So starting with the 4 360s, the first one is the bust. You let the person open the arms, hold the tape measure from 1, slide it around her bust. Just put a finger behind the tape measure. Then bring this close to you without tightening the tape measure and also without leaving any space. The finger inside is just providing easing. The reason we are taking it without spacing is because we want to take a close measurement. So when we are doing any garment with allowance, more allowance, we add it ourselves. But for now, we are taking the measurement as if it's a bodycon dress. So we just put a finger behind the tape measure. Then look at where the metal ends on the tape measure. So when you put your hand behind, it ends on the 39. We are lucky to have a whole number. So her bust is 39. But before then, I have to check whether the tape measure is placed right horizontally to the front from the back. It doesn't have to drop when you are taking the bust measurement like this. This will give you a wrong measurement. Always pull the tape measure up horizontally to the front. Then, leaving one hand inside, you read. After checking with the back, I'm now getting 40 inches. So if you don't check with the back whether it's horizontally to the front, you get a wrong measurement. So now her bust measurement is 40. Let me be sure. You have to go back to 39. You realize it's too tight on the bust. So this clearly is a wrong measurement. So you have to loosen it and give a little ease without any spacing. You can feel the tape measure even sliding around the bust. And it's 40. So this is the best measurement you can take. When you want to take the empire, the underbust, after reading the bust to be 40, just write B, which represents the bust of BUST. We will just abbreviate it with the first letter. So write B 40. The next 360 is the empire, the underbust. When you are measuring a lady, most times they are wearing brassiere. You see the bone inside the brassiere, that's where the empire is. You take your tape measure, slide it around the underbust. Still put a finger inside because it's a 360 measurement. Then you hold it and read the figure you see. You check with the back and see if it's horizontal with the front. Still check if there's any excess loop. Just go close to the body with a finger inside the tape measure. We are reading her empire measurement to be 33. If you take the measurement and it's 33.2, you can just round it off and write 33.5. But this one, luckily, she's having 33 as empire. Now I'm putting my hand inside to see if it's not too tight on the body. Then, to write the empire measurement, we spell the empire E-M-P-I-R-E. Just abbreviate the empire as E, capital E. Then write dash 33. We move straight to the next 360, which is the waist. We put a finger behind the tape measure as usual. Place it close to the waist. Then just pull the tape measure to meet the metal point of the tape measure. we are getting 32 here. There is no allowance and the tape measure doesn't feel tight. Then we are getting the waist as 32. Some measurements, it's difficult to tell where the waist is. Another way of determining the waist on the body. If you can't see the waist clearly, allow the lady to bend down. Where it breaks inside, it's called the natural waist. When she bends her body, there's a side that breaks in. That is where the natural waist is. Then you tell her to get up. Then you just put the tape measure around it. Then with the metal point, just indicate on the tape measure and see if it's not too tight on the body, but not too loose too. So this one, the waist is 32. Then we will write waist. The waist is spelled W-A-I-S-T. We will abbreviate it with the first letter W as 32. We move on to the hip. The hip has two parts, the flat side and the bulging side. When you take in the hip, just study the back of the hip and place the tape measure in the middle of the hip. When you place the tape measure here, you have a wrong measurement of the hip. When you place it at the bottom, it will be wrong. So you look at where the middle part of the hip is. Place a finger on the thigh, then roll your tape measure around the hip. So I'm going to check whether the tape measure is horizontal to the front. So watch how I'm going to move the tape measure. I'm moving it down to see if 44 measurement is okay. Then I'm taking it up again. So you realize the 44 can move around the hip. So it's a good measurement. So you write the hip HIP as H, the capital H, 44. So this is how we take the 4 360s, just with a finger in between round the body. We have 3 180s. That's the shoulder, the chest, and the across back. We said in our previous episode that because the 180 is taken halfway, that's why we call it 180, not a full circle. We are going to learn how to take the shoulder. When you are taking the shoulder, where the arm joins the body, right on top of it, we place the metal part of the tape measure on it. We will let it pass through the top part of the neck to the other part of the shoulder. So normally you place it at where, when you place a coin on the body, it will not fall down. You don't place it down or the other side, always on top. Then you place the metal part on it, crosses the neck part, then come to the other end of the shoulder. And this, I'm getting 15. So we'll record the shoulder SHOULDER. We'll represent it as SH. This time we are not representing as S because we have other parts of the body that start with S. So the SH is going to differentiate the shoulder from the other S parts of the body. The next one, we'll take the across back. The across back, where the arm falls on the body, there's a hole that starts. So you place the metal part of the tape measure on where the hole is to the other hole of the arm. I'm getting 16 as the across back. The across back is spelled ACROSS with the back BACK. We are going to abbreviate it AB, across back, 16. We are taking the chest. The chest, when we take the arm, where it falls on the body, where the hole starts. Where the hole starts on, we place the metal part on the chest to the other hole, beginning of the hole of the arm. Then we record what we see. And we are getting 14. The chest, C-H-E-S-T. And we will abbreviate it C, because there's no other part of the body with C as the beginning. So we will abbreviate the chest as C. So those are the 3 180s we've taken. We move on to the vertical measurements. On the vertical measurements, still starting from the shoulder, especially where you place a coin on or any item on the body and it doesn't fall down. If you place it here, it falls. You place it at the back. So where you place a body and it doesn't move, that's where you place the tape measure. You place it with your finger touching the metal part. The first point we meet on the body is the chest. So we'll record. Looking at the tape measure, where the hole starts, I'll write shoulder to chest, 6 inches. Then the armpit. Looking at the tape measure, where it goes deep inside the arm is 8 inches. So that's how the armpit will be recorded. So shoulder to armpit, 8 inches. Shoulder to chest, you can just write S-C, 6 inches. Shoulder to armpit, S-A, 8 inches. We move on to the underbust or the empire. When we are taking the measurements of the empire, we place the tape measure right around the nipple. We don't place the measurement at the side or in between. Right on the nipple side, so that we get the full measurement. So from the shoulder to the empire, you move till you touch the brazier bone, the bone of the brazier. And the shoulder to empire is 15. So you write S-E 15. When you are going to the waist and you've forgotten where the waistline, let her curve in a little and see where the waistline is. She moves up. Then from where the curving in came, you just transfer it horizontally on the tape measure and write 17. Shoulder to waist, 17. Never write shoulder to waist on the side of the nipple. It changes the measurement. This one is now 15, which is wrong. So always place the shoulder to waist on the bust around the nipple to the place that corresponds to the natural waist, 17. The next measurement is the blouse length. The blouse length, you place the tape measure still around the bust and look at where the hip is. Some people want their blouse length not to touch the hip. Some want it a little above, some want it on the hip. Some even want it below the hip a little. So you ask the lady where she wants her blouse length to be or kaba length. This lady would like a high hip kaba. So we will take 24, which is around the hip, but not in the middle of the hip. So the hip, the blouse length, we are taking 24. We'll move straight. You realize I've not moved my hand. If you are going down and it's becoming too tedious, you can place your hand on the empire measurement, then leave the top. We are going to take the dress length measurement. From the empire, we'll just move straight and ask her where she would like her short dress length to be. She will love, why do you want your dress length? 35. She will love it to be at 35. And take the midi skirt length, which is in the middle of, between the knee and the toe. So the midi skirt length for her, 32. When we are taking the slit length, this is the skirt, long skirt, because she will place the skirt on the natural waist. Mostly when you are doing for slits, we bring the measurement down a little because we don't pull slits too much the natural waist. We bring it about 2 inches from the natural waist. Then ask her to raise her 2 feet. Then put the tape measure right where her toe is. And it's 43 inches. If it's a long skirt and she'll put it on the natural waist and she'll wear high heel, she'll put it on the natural waist, raise her 2 feet, then record on the toe, 45. We have come to the end of body measurement. I hope you understood every part. If you have any question or in doubt about any part, pick my contact below the screen or leave a question in the comment section. Don't forget to like, share or subscribe. Thank you for watching Knaspa Fashion Blog and see you in the next episode. Bye.